Okay, it looks like it worked. This is the first time that I've used this software, so I've got myself live in multiple places. So I wanted to make sure to get on early and make sure that it was actually going to work. So this is pretty cool. I'm just going to pull up my phone here to the main group. And so I can see if you've got comments, just go ahead and type them in to the video comments below the video, the live right now, and then we'll get started. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, I'm Karina. I'm a founder of Knit a Bell Boutique. I've been selling online since, 2013. And have done 7 figures in sales. I've also been in multiple mall locations, pop-ups, all kinds of stuff. So I started coaching in 2019. I've helped lots of ladies hit big sales. A few of my students have done multiple 6 figures a year. And they started with me from scratch. That is zero, like no website. So I know that my coaching doesn't just work for me. Like my strategies don't just work for me, they work for lots of people. So I wanted to, there are lots of ladies I know that want to have an online boutique because it's just the most awesome thing ever. And so I wanted to do a little training today. It's going to be about an hour long. And at the end, I am going to invite you to join my program, the same program that those ladies are in or were in when they started. So this isn't just fly by night. I've been doing this a long time. I've got lots of students. I've made websites for thousands of ladies. I'm a Shopify partner and I do have my master's in business because my goal when I went to college was I wanted to teach entrepreneurship. And that was before the internet was really a thing. And so I never dreamed that I would actually get to teach online. I thought I would be a college professor, as a side gig of, having my own business. So this is really a dream come true for me. I also, last thing about me, I own a donut shop that I bought in 2003 when I was 26. So I've had multiple SBA loans and obtained financing. I've been doing this for a long time. So I'm going to give you initially, first I want to welcome you. And if you've got any comments, just type them in and we'll do some Q&A at the end. So just an overview of the online boutique industry. It's still going strong. I know with the economy, it's hard to believe, but people are still buying stuff. And I don't know if maybe it's just they're only buying things that make them feel good. Because boutiques, we kind of sell stuff that make people feel good, right? It's not like car repair where they have to do it, or we're not like the dentist's office where they have to go in and pay for a filling and they don't want to, right? When you have a boutique, you have fun stuff, right? You have stuff that people want to buy to make them feel good, feel better, look good. So that is great because that's the industry that we are in right now. And that industry is going to grow even through bad times, because what do people do when they feel bad in some area of their life? They buy stuff to make them feel better. So we're providing that service to them. So I still am seeing people spend money. Students are still selling things. Ladies that I mentor, still going strong. The next thing is I want to talk about some of the things that it takes to be successful, because I've talked to actually several ladies this month, just in the last week, that are quitting their boutique for one reason or another. So this is something that I feel pretty strongly that I need to address. And it's that it's hard, right? The successful people now, remember, I talk to lots and lots of ladies that are in this business or wanting to start it or quitting, right? The successful ones, they all have something in common. They don't quit when it gets hard. And it gets hard, that's normal. So if it's hard for you, just remember that that's normal. Nothing's easy, right? You're always going to run into something. The next thing is they're consistent. They don't just do things every so often. They are consistent and they do things every single day to build their business, no matter what. And I've always done that since the beginning. And I think that's why I got to where I am, right? The next thing is they're willing to try new things. Now, are you willing to try new things? Tell me in the comments if you're willing to try new things, because it can be extremely hard to get yourself to do something when you're unfamiliar with it, right? So are you willing to try new things? That is the one thing that I see that makes people not succeed. I've seen women with all the talent in the world, and they just will not do something that I know will take them to the next level. They just can't get themselves to do it. And therefore they never succeed. They never get to where they could have been, because they just have this block in their head that they can't, or it's uncomfortable, or they don't want to do it, right? And so they hold themselves back. It's literally, I've given them the strategies, they're just not doing it, right? Tell me if you've had that happen to you. Tell me in the comments if you've had that happen to you. So last thing, they're willing to be uncomfortable. Are you willing to be uncomfortable? Guys, I'm uncomfortable every day. I do not like going live, and I go live a lot, and it is not my favorite thing to do. I'll tell you that right now. I'm much happier with my hair in a ponytail, just like working away with my head down, you know? But I know to be successful, I have to put myself out there. And so I do it anyway, regardless of if I stumble over my words or I look silly or, you know, oh, my double chin showing or whatever it may be. You can always find some reason to put yourself down when you do something that you're uncomfortable with. So you just have to do it anyway. And that's okay. You can be uncomfortable. That's okay. It's okay to be uncomfortable. So, but I can tell you that it will hold you back. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable and do things anyway, it will hold you back. I guarantee you. So here are a couple of reasons why you might want to start an online boutique. And these are the beautiful things about this business. You can reach a large number of customers. You can, like when I first started, my first couple of years, 90% of my customers were in Texas, and I had never even been to Texas. And I pulled my some reports, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious, because I don't know why, but I never sold. I was in Kansas at the time. I never sold one thing in Kansas until probably my third year in business, when I actually started doing events. I started selling things in Kansas, and people started realizing I was there, but I was just kind of hidden out in my own town, selling to people that weren't around me, right? So that's the beauty of the online boutique business. There are also low startup costs. I started with $200 and ended up doing 7 figures, you guys. That's what I teach in my program. There are ways to do it. You can start with as little as, $1,000 in inventory. On the flip side, drop shipping used to not be a thing, but it's becoming more prominent. So that is also an option. You can also do what's called a hybrid store, where you have some in stock and some drop ship. So there are so many new things coming out. There's so much opportunity right now. Next, you're quickly able to expand your business, right? So that is kind of by adding drop shipping, things like that, where you don't have to add product, that you have on hand. You can also provide people with products they can't find nearby. So we've all shopped online, right? So how many of you have shopped at a place that's not in your town and you've ordered from them online, right? That's how people do it these days. So it is crazy the opportunities that online boutiques have, and even people in your town or people outside of your town will shop with you, right? And everyone has unique products. It is not a big deal if there's another boutique in your town. Literally, it does not matter who else out there is doing what you're doing, right? You run your race. You've seen the horses, right? They put the side blinders on their eyes so they can't see the horses next to them, right? Literally, you run your race. You don't care about who else is in your town because you don't need the people in your town to be successful. You can put yourself out there in all kinds of different places. So those are some of the reasons why you'd want to start an online boutique right now. Huge opportunity. Next, I want to talk a little bit about strategic planning, just because I'm a planner. I like to have things organized in my head, and I need to know where I'm going, right? Because if you don't know where you're going, how do you know if you even got where you want to go? So are you struggling with figuring out, those of you that are kind of new-ish, or you've launched and you're not really, like, your wheels are spinning? How many of you know who your customer is? Tell me in the comments. Do you know who your customer is? Do you have that one person? Did you know that Lululemon has a person with a name, a fake person, like a buyer persona, and everything that they do is based on that person? Did you know that? When you buy for an online boutique, you don't buy for the masses. You buy for one person. Will she wear this? Will my customer wear this? Your customer is one person. And there are other techniques, right? So when you're selling to one person. So you don't say, I thought you guys would like this in like a social media post, because that makes it impersonal. So you say, I thought you would love this. If you ever notice in my emails, I talk to one person. Go look at the emails that I send. I've gotten really good at this. I didn't know this when I first started. You have to talk to one person. That way, when that person reads it, they feel like you're talking directly to them. So if you don't know who your customer is, you are holding yourself back. Yes, Michelle knows who it is, but she's been doing this for quite some time. Yeah. And in the beginning, you just have to guess, right? It won't be cut and dry. It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to make a guess of who my customer is, and then I'm going to like change it as I need to, right? Like you may decide your customer, you thought they were like this, but they're really like this. And that's happened to several of my students and clients, where they decided to change like their customer persona. So you need to know that if you're going to be successful. Next, buying decisions. We're going to briefly touch on this. Here are some great tips to make, or here are some tips to make great buying decisions. Determine what type of product you'd like to offer and what can set you apart. Like when I first started, this was a long time ago, like 9-10 years ago, I did research and I went and looked at other boutiques and looked at their comments to see like what were people's complaints about the boutiques that were already there, so that I knew at the time, this isn't true now, but at the time that I started, there was a huge gap in plus size clothing. And I could tell because I went to some of the bigger boutiques. I looked at their social media. I looked at their store, like they had comments on their products. And there were tons of complaints about, why do you not carry anything bigger than a large? And so I knew there was a gap, and that's where I dove in at the time. And I think that's what kind of catapulted me, was because I knew that plus size people were looking for boutique clothing and weren't able to find it. So if you're going to make great buying decisions, you want to keep your finger on the pulse of what other people are doing. However, do not base your business decisions fully on what other people are doing, because other people may be doing things that aren't working, and they're not going to tell you that, right? Like, oh, she keeps posting this stuff. Oh, that must be selling. Maybe she's posting it because it's not selling, right? So, because when I was in the mall, it was actually a collective. And so there were a bunch of boutiques in there, and it was very competitive. And I would purposely post things on social media and say, should I buy this? Just to throw off my competition, because I knew that they were watching me. Right? You got to think about that. Yeah, Michelle says every time she's tried to follow trends or things out of her lane, it's flopped. You got to think about that. Just because something's working for someone else doesn't mean it'll work for you. And just because they're promoting it heavily doesn't mean that it's selling well, right? So that's why it's good to have a coach because if you just follow what random people are doing on Facebook or in their stores, I mean, it's good to know what's out there, but you do not want to base your decisions fully on that. Okay, consider pricing, quality, and supply chain. We all know about Alibaba, right? You have to be very careful where you get your products. I actually recently in the last few weeks was asked to join or was invited to join this vendor complaint group. And it's opened my eyes quite a bit. I don't understand. This is one thing I don't get. Why do people not just buy from proven vendors? Why is everyone always looking for vendors that are different? It's almost like ladies that have online boutiques or boutiques in general think that if they buy something from a vendor that everyone else has access to, that they're not going to sell it because other people have it. And it causes a lot of problems. I've been reading about people losing thousands of dollars buying from these one-off wholesalers, like ladies that just randomly make things and not getting their product. And it's this humongous deal. Like all these people are losing money because they're trying to be different so much that they're making bad buying decisions. I never bought from anyone but Fashion Go, like ever. I go to market and I buy off Fashion Go. Fashion Go, they have to actually put forth effort to be on Fashion Go, right? And so just buying from these random groups and random wholesalers, I mean, it's just a bad buying decision. And I just recommend not doing it, honestly. And here's the other thing. Don't buy other people's stuff that they're destashing. Why are they destashing it? I've never understood this. I see all these destash groups. Why are they destashing it? Because it's not selling for them, or they're quitting their boutique. You know, why do you want someone else's leftovers? Don't buy someone else's leftovers. You do your own thing. You pick your product yourself. You don't just buy something because someone's getting rid of it. I mean, I feel like that's just, I cannot stand it. I am preaching, Yvette. I mean, I just don't get it because I'm on Facebook all the time, like researching, like, what do I need to teach about next? And I'm just seeing a lot of this. And I feel like just saying, stop buying people's destash stuff. That means they don't know what they're doing. Robin, buy from the brand if it's on Fashion Go. That's what I mean. Like, I just see a lot of ladies like buying graphic tees and like these tumblers and things like that from random places. And it's just like, why are you doing that? You don't know who these people are. Okay, I'll get off that. But that's part of making great buying decisions is being smart, you know? Yeah, you buy it for yourself. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing, but like, when you're buying a product for your business, you need to buy based on your customer, you know, and you have all these things available to you. Don't buy someone's leftovers. Okay. Next thing we're going to talk about is launching your store. So choosing a website platform. I could say that I use Shopify. I've used it since 2013. I'm a Shopify partner. I've set up over 1,000 stores with Shopify. It's the absolute best that I've seen. If you don't have a website, you need to have one, because if you're just selling on social media, how does someone buy from you if you're not manually invoicing them? You're missing out on sales, right? Because I have people randomly buy from my website, even while I'm asleep, because it's open for business 24 hours a day. If you're selling only in a Facebook group, how does someone buy from you? What if they feel like buying at 2 a.m., but you're in bed and they put a comment that they want something, and then like 7 hours later, you invoice them and they've changed their minds, right? So you want to have a website, and I recommend Shopify. The most important thing about your store, I look at a lot of stores, is it needs to look professional. You need to have words spelled properly. You need to have a good logo. You need to not have broken links. There are a whole bunch of things that are red flags when you go look at a website. What are some things that you've seen when you've gone to a website and you see something cute maybe and you click on it, maybe on social media, and you go to their website? What is something that you see and you're like, oh geez, I can't trust this company. I don't know if I'm even going to get this product. What would be a red flag that you would see? I know for me, it's the template. If you see the pieces of the template and there's nothing in it, right? No guarantee or a return policy. Yeah, Tammy says that. For me, oh, I forgot to plug in my laptop. Hang on a second. For me, it's like seeing like template stuff and I'm like, oh geez, they don't know what they're doing. I might get my product, but this doesn't look professional. And Target doesn't have broken pieces on their website, right? You don't go to Target and they have like a collection, but there's no picture there and it's a broken link. So, right? Can you imagine if Target did that? Jen says, I don't like product pictures that are different sizes. Yeah, there's a simple fix for that, right? I know how to fix it. I fix it all the time for clients. And Michelle says model pics with the heads cut off is a big red flag for me. The website looks old, Andrea says. Yeah, I mean, see? So if your website looks like that and you're not getting sales, that could be why. So you need to shop your own website and make sure that you look professional, right? Or you're not even getting your foot in the door at all. No one's going to shop with you because of simple things that you could fix. The next thing is challenges, handling growth pains. You know, it is hard, you guys. I can tell you that just as many people start boutiques as quit them every year. It's hard. And like I told you earlier, a lot of people have the right strategies. They just don't follow through with it. And they could be successful. There was actually a client that I had back in 2019, a private client, and she was very frustrated. She purchased, I think, $10,000 in inventory, and she got upset because she wasn't able to sell it online. And if you're an online business, that doesn't necessarily mean that all your sales are going to come from online. Initially, you're going to have to do other things to get people to your website, right? You can't just turn on your website and people are going to flock to it and buy stuff. So she didn't want to do the things that I was telling her to do. One of which was I told her she needed to start doing pop-ups. You have $10,000 worth of inventory on your credit card. You need to do pop-ups. She didn't want to do it. She worked a full-time job. She was not tech savvy at all. She was very overwhelmed. And she was like, I can't. There's nowhere to pop up in my town. That's what she told me. There's nowhere to pop up in my town. And this just isn't going to work. And I work full-time and on the weekends, I don't want to spend my weekend. All the excuses, right? Think of all the excuses that I listened to. Do you know that she finally got so desperate because she owed $10,000 on her credit card and didn't have anything to show for it, that she started doing pop-ups? Can you guys guess how much she did her second year in business? Can you guess? She did over $200,000 in sales. Over $200,000 in sales, you guys. And she wouldn't have gotten there had she not done the pop-ups. That was the turning point. And she had to get to that point of desperation before she did it. I remember she was so frustrated with me and she was just like, do not tell me to do pop-ups. I do not want to do a pop-up. And I was so proud of her. I was so proud of her, but I don't know that she would have done it had she not been desperate, right? So she had to get herself to that point that she had no other option in her mind because she owed the 10 grand and 200,000, you guys. over 200,000. Do you know how much profit that is? If she was in my program, so she was pricing her stuff properly, she had to have made about, let's see, she had to have made probably 90 to 100,000 in profit. Do you know that first year, I think she quit her job, her full-time job that she hated. And she now has a storefront and she makes sales online. And all of that from a lady that was not tech savvy. She literally wrote down everything I said because she would get so confused and she was not going to do the thing. Right. So I can see her looking back going, oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost didn't do that. Right. So here's the thing. You have to start where you are, right? She worked full time. A lot of ladies I work with work full time. A lot of ladies have kids. Some ladies have illnesses. I actually have a lady that I work with that is dying, you guys. And she still shows up and works her boutique. And she has been given, they can't do anything else to help her, right? But she's spending her last time working on this business and it keeps her going. So you need to start where you're at. And I can tell you, it's like climbing Mount Everest. You want to have a guide. You want to have tools in your backpack. You want to have a community around you. And even then, you might not make it to the top, right? Because what will hold you back if you don't make it to the top? What have you learned so far? What will hold you back? Yourself, right? So if you don't make it to the top of Everest, you need to look inward because somewhere along the way, you decided not to do the thing, right? That would get you there, right? So if you have the Sherpa, which is the coach, you have the community, and you have the tools in your backpack, and you don't make it, it's you holding yourself back, right? Yeah, fear. Tammy says fear of looking small and unprofessional. Hey, Mary. Mary's one of my success stories. She's on here now and in our chat. And I saw Sheila on here. Sheila also both those ladies started with me from scratch. And Sheila did over 6 figures last year in sales. So I'm super proud of them. So the next thing is I have found that a year seems a little long for me. I set year-long goals. I want to do this year, but I have found over the years of doing this that it's better for me to break it into 3 months at a time. Because if I wait a year to see if I hit my goal, what if I didn't hit it? I've wasted 12 months. So I like to look at every 3 months. Do I need to change something? Because when you own a business, you're constantly changing stuff and growing and learning new things. Would you guys agree? Those of you that have been doing this a while, you're constantly okay, I got this down. Okay, what's new that I can work on now? And every time you achieve something and get really good at it, let's say one of the things is emails. So I'm going to spend 3 months getting really good at emails, right? I did this when I first started. 3 months getting really good at emails. Okay. And then the next 3 months, okay, I'm going to get really good at social media. And then the next 3 months, you focus on getting really good at something else. And so then by the end of the year, you've gotten really good at a lot of things instead of, oh, did I hit my goal of this? Oh, I guess I got close, but I don't know. And so try that. I want you to write down a 3-month goal right now. So what can you guys do in 90 days? And I find that pushes me more too, because I'm like, oh, I got 90 days. I better hurry up. Every day I need to be doing something. So what do you think that you can get done in 90 days for your business? Those of you, are you just starting out? Are you selling right now? Maybe you're spinning your wheels. What is something that you can do in 90 days? Michelle says, I get stagnant because I get good at something and I stay there because it's comfortable. Yeah, that's true. You have to know that when you have your business, you have to be uncomfortable or you're not growing, right? Bobby says getting her store actually going. Michelle, I want a website. Michelle, you need a website. Bobby, I have changes that need to be done. Yeah. Do not be comfortable. Mary, Sheila, would you guys agree with me that when you get comfortable, do you feel like things kind of slide? I feel like when I get comfortable, I kind of almost start like slipping back down Mount Everest a little bit, right? Tammy, if you're making Instagram posts for 30 days and no growth, do something else. I would switch gears, right? Sheila says, absolutely. Beth, I need a website too. Yeah, if you guys, I'm going to invite you to the program at the end. So I'll give you the link to all that. Robin, you're in analysis process. I keep getting motivated, confused. So, okay. Robin, you're perfect. You want to come work with Sheila, Mary, and I? Totally. They both started from scratch with me. And Mary's in some stores now, I believe. Let's see. Michelle, you only have a Facebook group, which does well. Yeah. Okay. You guys, there's so much to do. So what can we do in 90 days? Right? Because remember, the only thing that's holding you back is yourself. Okay. Next, resources. How much time and money can you commit to this? You don't have to put that in the chat. You can put the time if you'd like, but how much time and money do you have to commit to this? Because I've seen a lot of ladies go real strong in the beginning, and then they're like, oh, I got distracted because this happened. And, you know, that you just didn't take the time to do it. Mary has a booth location and a mobile boutique trailer now. And Mary had a fear of, let's talk, Mary. Mary had a fear of going live in the beginning, right? So we kind of skipped that part and we focused on something else until she got more confident. But Mary is doing awesome. Mary's doing awesome. She's going live now. She's doing all kinds of beautiful, amazing things. Mary says she launched from scratch in less than 90 days with my program. Yeah. Mary used to feel like she's going to throw up, you guys, and I was telling her she had to go live. But she did start doing some of the other strategies and got her business to, I think, did you hit your goal? Mary, did you hit your goal last year? I think you did. Michelle says she's a stay-at-home wife, mom. Her youngest is in college now, so she has lots of time. Oh, perfect. That's awesome. Tammy works full-time right now, about 10 hours a week, retiring at the end of February. Good. Yeah. So if you start now with 10 hours a week, you can actually, like, you'll know what you're doing when you get retired. You'll have a plan to just get out there and go, right? And as far as budget, we talked about that a little bit. You can start, hold on, I'm distracted here. Mary more than doubled the year before. So yes to hitting her goal. Yeah. So she doubled her sales last year from the previous year. So, and she's in the Ecom Academy. So, budget, you can start with, as little as $1,000. If you're drop shipping, you can start with less than that. Drop shipping takes a little bit more time to get off the ground because you don't have the product on hand, and a lot of the strategies to get you like really great sales there in the beginning take having product on hand and getting in front of people. But it can be done. It's just going to be slower. If you want to move faster, you want to have product on hand. The other option is maybe you take $500 and maybe you do a hybrid store, which I teach. You can do 500 in inventory and maybe add some drop ship products. So you do both, which is what I do. So that's working really effectively for a lot of ladies right now. So let me see what I'm missing. Okay, I'm going to answer a few questions that got dropped into the comments prior to us starting, and then I'm going to give you just a little sneak peek of Ecom Academy. Okay, Jen's saying how to increase organic traffic. Jen asked how to increase organic traffic. It's SEO, and I teach that in Ecom Academy. SEO strategies, things like, gosh, there's so much. Product descriptions, how you do your titles, having a blog, there are all kinds of things like that. Dropship vendors, Fashion Go dropships. Michelle, are you on Fashion Go? There are several others I've vetted. I'm doing some testing on that right now, but if you get into Ecom Academy, we can talk more. I can give you more like specifics on that. Robin's asking in the comments, am I too late to start? You know what? A lot, like most of the ladies that start from scratch and have kept going and got to $10,000 months or more are over 40. So I would say it's never too late to start. It's whether you have the time and energy and resources to do it, right? No one cares how old you are. They just care if you have cute stuff, right? Let's see, what technology is best for online boutiques? I use Shopify. And then there's some apps that you use that I recommend. Sheila says she started at age 55, you guys. Sheila Yee, she's in the chat. Mary's over 40. I'm over 40. I'm over 45. Beth says she's 58. Yeah, I mean, hey, we know what we're doing. Wendy's 58. Yeah, Sheila, Tammy's 63. Sheila, I remember you in the very, very beginning going, I feel like I'm a little too old for this. And I was like, what? Yeah, see, Michelle's 52. I think by the time you hit 40s, you're kind of like, you know what you want and you're willing to put in the work, right? And I think that's why the ladies that are older maybe try harder. Maybe they're not as scared. Maybe they're more willing to be uncomfortable. Maybe that's the thing. Carolyn has issues with people paying. Oh yeah, and the thing is, ladies older than 40 a lot of times have a better budget to buy, and they're willing to spend the money on things. I mean, they spend hundreds of dollars, you guys. I had a lady order for me the other day. It was her 28th order from me. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. Robin, you've been thinking about it for 5 years. I think it's time. January, it's a great month. I was trying to find, let's see, there was an issue with people paying. We can help you. If you join the academy, we can work with you on how to get people to pay it. There are all kinds of techniques and things to do that. And plus, if you have a website, they can go shop whenever they want to, right? Okay. Robin, where to find the most reliable vendors? I teach that. Is it possible to do it while working full time? Totally. As long as you devote a certain amount of hours a week, because if you let a week slip by and you're not doing anything on your business, a week becomes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And by, the 6th month, you're thinking, this is dumb. I don't think I want to, I'm no good at this. I can't do this. I didn't get it done. I feel, I've had ladies say, like, they avoid me because they sign up and they don't do anything and they feel like awkward because it's been 3 months since they've done anything and they think that I'm going to judge them. It's crazy. But yeah, Mary says you get out what you put in. You have to spend time on it, like every day, or at least every other day. If I'm not working on my business, I'm thinking about it. Did you know that counts? Did you guys know that counts? If you start, like, I will actually, when I'm driving, I will be working in my head. You don't have to physically be doing something. Yes, I teach what to do if you hit slumps and regroup. Actually, it's an awesome community. We are like, they're my friends, guys. I've known Sheila. Sheila was a customer of mine before she opened her own boutique. And Mary, gosh, I've known Mary for a couple years now. I have ladies that have been with me for a long time, and we're a community and we help each other. We have a private Facebook group where we all chit chat, and it's awesome. So you can't get in a slump unless you let yourself, right? But just remember, back to my whole point is, even if you are not sitting there at your computer doing something or writing something out, like, I will give myself stuff to work on in my head while I'm driving, right? So think about that. Like, I may have like, okay, I'm going to teach a class. Like for this class, I printed my outline and I took my outline with me as I was driving my kids around to classes and things like that. And then when I was sitting in the car, I would recheck the outline and then I'd be thinking about what do I want to say there, so that counts as working, right? So print out your papers, take them with you and just work on your business every day. So yeah, you can do it, totally do it. Let's see, Marquetta, how can I network outside my town? Simply look up events and just start talking to people, really. And it's interesting because I didn't realize until the last few years how much I actually needed people. I was one of those people, and I'm sure I have some of you on here right now. How many of you feel or used to feel like you didn't need anybody's help, like you could do it by yourself? Like, I was always one of those people, like, I figured out I'm strong. I can do this myself. I don't need anybody's help. And in the last few years, I had an awesome coach that I ran into, and she taught me that I actually can go a lot further when I have help. And I can learn from people that I didn't know that I could learn from. And so all the time, I'm always looking for new things. What can I learn from this? Like, even when I'm reading on Facebook groups, people having troubles, like, what can I learn from this? Like, I see they're stuck here. Like, what can I take from this that I can teach my ladies? So I hang out in Facebook groups to like gather information. But you just start looking for things that you can do outside your town. The client that I was talking about, the private client earlier, she said it's a small town and there's nowhere to pop up. She did over $200,000, you guys. So I think she was wrong. I think she was wrong about that. So you just have to be open-minded. And I know a lot of the ladies in the academy, they have some strategies that they've shared in there on how to find places to do pop-ups and events. Or events specifically that are not in their area. Okay, how to stock inventory. That is kind of we talked about that earlier. Raven, Sue, what is the best software that has a website, POS, and inventory tracking? Shopify definitely is what you want to use. When starting out, how much money should be tied up in inventory? Remember, if you don't have inventory, you can't make money, right? So if you buy $1,000 worth of inventory, that's an investment. And if you price it properly, which I teach you, you make $1,000 back, right? So plus you get your $1,000 back, right? That's how I started with $200. So you have to think about how much money do you want to make? That's how much inventory you want, right? Sheila and Mary, if you're still on here, how much inventory do you think you guys have now? I think each of you started with about 1,000, 1,500 in inventory. And I'm just curious because as you grow and you grow your customer base, you're going to increase the amount of inventory that you have on hand. And before you know it, you'll be like, wow, I did not even realize I had this much inventory. But when Mary just sent me like the big eyeball emoji. It depends on how much money you want to make. And I have a training in the academy. You will actually hold yourself back if you don't have enough inventory to sell, right? So let's say you do a pop-up. Sheila says, oh, does that count the 3 large boxes in the entryway? Mary says, mine was higher because I do everything in small to 3X, which is part of her customer. She knows who her customer is. But on hand, she has about 18,000 retail. And Mary, I think, started with about $1,000 in product, if I remember right. And now she is about maybe 9,000-ish. So, but Mary wants to make money, right? And she knows that she can't make money if she doesn't have product to sell. So the product is an investment. So we don't tie it up. We want it gone in 30 days. You know that movie, Gone in 60 Seconds? We want our inventory gone in 30 days. We want our money back, our investment back, and we want our return so that we can reinvest it. We do not let products sit around. And I have never destashed anything in my life. I don't use destash groups. I sell stuff. You know, you don't need them. Okay. Tish, my question is it best to have inventory or drop ship? Honestly, I think it depends on your budget. I've got ladies that I teach that just drop ship, and I have some that do hybrid, and I have many that have product on hand, because if you are able to have product on hand, you're going to sell more. Mary says 2,000 originally, because she has a pack of regular and plus. So she does the full run. So it costs her more money. So she had less styles, but she had more money invested because it was important to her to have the full sizes, right? The plus sizes as well. So it just depends. It just depends on how much you have to invest. There's no set number. You can work it. We can work it. However, your budget needs it to work, right? And there are some strategies that I teach in the boot camp on how to make your store look like it has more product with less money. So let me just show you very quickly. I'm going to pull up, if I can find it, Ecom Academy. It's closing. This is what I wanted to have this class for, is Ecom Academy is actually closing to new members at the end of January. So doors are closing January 31st. And Mary says she got her butt out there to sell it so she could bring in more inventory, right? You kind of have to be desperate in a way, and like, just, you know, no other option sometimes. So anyway, here's the website, and I will put it in the chat. It's onlineboutiquecoaching.com/ecom, ECOM. But I'll make sure I throw that in the chat. So this is going to close January 31st. We're not going to have any new ladies in here. It's going to be closed for a bit, because I'm going to focus on the ladies that I do have in the program. Here are some video testimonials that you can listen to. These are all ladies that were in the academy, and we all just become friends. Cheryl, she used to be a TV anchor on TV. So she opened her own boutique. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, these are all the ladies. You can read, you can see screenshots, you can, I think this is Sheila's. Sheila did over 118,000 last year. She's on this chat with you guys right now. So anyway, you can see all that, but I want to show you what's in it. These are, you can read here and see what some of the takeaways are going to be from the program. This program was started in 2019, so it's refined, and we've had hundreds of ladies go through this program, and it's the same program that that Sheila and Mary went through. And also my private coaching client that did over 200,000 last year, she had the same strategies, only she did it private coaching, because that's the way I did it back then. But this is going to give you some of the stuff that you're going to learn in there. How to write emails, blogs, SEO. We have trainings on all the things that you need training on when you're just getting started, or if you've launched, maybe you're selling on Facebook, or you don't have a website, or maybe you do have a website and you just aren't getting the sales that you want to get. These are the payment options right now. And we have a full pay. If you do the full pay, you get access to me through direct messenger and email. So that is the biggest bonus that I see. You can actually get cart audits as well. So you get a lot of bonuses if you do the full pay. That's for 12 months, or we have other options, because I want ladies in here who really want to do this. And I know that not everyone has a budget to do the full pay. So we've got also, you can do $97 a month the first 2 months and $197 after, or we have a weekly payment option, $25 a week the first 8 weeks and $50 a week thereafter. Yeah, Michelle, we actually just had a live training yesterday. She's asking if there are live trainings. Yeah, you do get live trainings. And so you get access to all of these things. But I do coaching in the group at least once a month. And that's where I will show you guys the Facebook group. And hopefully you can see my screen. Oh, very quickly, can I show you? If you're wanting to join this program before it closes, go here. And then I don't want you to get confused. This is the way it makes me lay it out. For the full pay, you can click here or here. We do take PayPal credit now. Or for the monthly pay, you have to click this button, or for the weekly, you click this button. So that's the way that I had to set it up. So don't get confused. If you get in there, just keep scrolling down. You'll see the weekly and the monthly pay options. Let's see, but I'll show you the private Facebook group. Here it is. And this is where we do the live trainings, and we all chit chat in here, and like I share resources and other ladies share resources. This is the training we did yesterday. We went and did a field trip to Fashion Go. You can look in here. We have events coming up. Let's see. We've got a bunch of events coming up. These are all the past events that we've done. So we do events all the time. We do office hours where you can just ask questions. It goes back until the end of time. Store audits, if you want your store looked at, 7-figure buying strategies, plan your promos, how to write amazing emails. So you'll have at least, I think it's 2 that I'm doing right now per month, live trainings. And then you also have access to everything that I've done in the past. Everything that we do is recorded, because we do have a lot of ladies that work during the day, but you can see we've got a ton of videos in here with trainings like back to 2019. And then you also get access to Thinkific, which is where the trainings are held. And if you've bought boot camp or anything like that, you've been on Thinkific, and that's where the trainings are. So does anybody have any questions? I'm going to see if I can jump into the other groups, because I've just been watching this one group. Oh, Sheila says, again, ladies, amazing support. Trust me, even after 2 years, Karina was there for me this morning when I had an urgent issue. Yeah. Sheila's site went down at like 8:30 this morning. So yeah, if it's site down, that is like SOS time, right? Okay. Yeah, I do the weekly because you guys, I know all about budgets and things like that. I started with $200. So if you've been doing this for a while, so you have the basics down but want to grow, Michelle, yes. As you can see, we've got ladies in here who are seasoned business owners now. On top of, you've got me in there as well. So we do trainings. Plus you have access to my amazing community of ladies. So, if you have a day where you get stuck, or there's something that you're wanting to brainstorm or something like that, we have a community where you can do that, and it's private. It's the private group that I just showed you. So yeah, we do have ladies. And two, Michelle, like if you've got basics down, there are tons of trainings. I've got trainings on so much stuff. I was trying to add it up. I think there are over 60 hours of training, just off the top of my head, that I added up that you get access to in this program. And everything that I do, 90% of what I teach, once you join Ecom Academy, you get access to it. So if I teach a class somewhere, you get to go to it for free. So that's my top tier ladies that are like, other than the mastermind ladies get access to me on Voxer to ask questions and get like immediate access to me, no matter day or night. That's the only level higher than Ecom Academy. So you get access to everything. Let me jump into this other group really quickly. Since I got this to stream in multiple places, I'm going to see if we have any questions or anything over in this other one. Okay. I think, Sheila, are you in both groups? And on the page, let me just check the page real quick. If you're watching the replay, also I want to mention, go ahead and drop your questions in the comments, and I'll be on later. And actually, I'm on Facebook all day typically, and I will help answer your questions. If you are interested in this program, make sure that you do get in before the end of the month, so that you can get started on it, because it is going to change your life. Let's see, who do we have here? Yvette is asking $50 a month for how many months? Yvette, it's a 12-month program, so you can leave the program after 12 months. If you need to leave sooner, just let me know. I'm always willing to work with someone, but really it does take about 12 months for you to get the strategies down. And honestly, I have a lot of ladies that have been with me for over 2 years. So it's an ongoing thing. So as long as you're working on your business, you want to be involved, because there's always something new to learn. Like when TikTok came out, we had a TikTok training. When drop shipping opened up on Fashion Go, how do you do that? Like, how do you know what drop shippers are good? We had a training on it. We had the change of season. We had a training yesterday because seasons are changing, and what do you do now? It's like the third week of January. What should I be doing for my business? Should I be buying spring stuff right now? What should I be doing with my old product? So we had a training on that yesterday to go over, what you should be doing. So there's always something that you should be learning and doing. And because I have access to all of these ladies' minds and what they're thinking and what's going on and things like that, I can tell usually where the gaps are, and I'll do a training on it. Also, if there's something that you want to learn about, I always am open to doing trainings for that too. Like I asked them a few weeks ago, what do you guys want to learn about? What's your question? What questions do you guys have right now? So it's not always cut and dry where I'm saying, we're going to learn this, this, and this. It's not like a college class with, a curriculum that's laid out ahead of time. If I see or hear that ladies are getting stuck on a certain thing, or if something new comes out, we're doing a training on it. So it's ongoing is my point. It's not something, if you leave, I feel like when ladies leave, they kind of are giving up. The ladies that leave are the ones giving up. The ladies that stay are the ones that are still in the game, and that's kind of how we want it. We want ladies that are serious about it and that, are actively growing their business, right? Because this is serious stuff. We are doing this, we're not playing around. I mean, the ladies are selling a lot, I've had clients sell, I have a screenshot, $7,000 or $8,000 in like 4 hours. I mean, this is serious. This isn't something that we take lightly, is what I'm saying. So I think that if you're committed and you want to be around committed people, and people that work their business every day, and you want that community, it's a good fit for you. Okay, I'm just going to check one more time and see if I can see any questions. If not, we'll wrap up and I'll come check back and see if we have any questions. Just remember, this is going to close. Let's see. Okay, let me put in this is going to close at the end of January. So do not wait, because we're going to be moving along and we're all going to be working on our businesses, and you don't want to be unable to join us, because we are going to kill it this year. There we go. Ecom Academy. There's the link right there, guys. I just typed it into the chat, and let me check very quickly. Oh, Sheila says she doesn't want to leave. She's constantly learning. That's right. Yeah, that link that Tammy put is for the boot camp offer. So I'm going to delete that so we don't confuse. Michelle, if you signed up for something that it is most likely the boot camp, the $5 boot camp, and that is like the first baby steps to starting or kind of refining. Maybe you've already launched and you want to refine and make sure you didn't miss anything. That's what that is, the boot camp. The Ecom Academy, if boot camp is this, Ecom Academy is this. It's the full blown program. So it is, you know, the other 99% of what you need. And it's as low as $25 to get in. So if you are even on the fence, I would get in and try it out and see what you think. I'm going to drop this link in the other things while I'm waiting, and then I'll go back and check one more time and see if we have any comments. And thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope that you learned a lot and it gave you some sort of idea. It let you see what other ladies are doing and gave you some sort of idea of what is possible. Because there are actually ladies that are doing this as their full-time job. So if you're interested in doing this, this is the program that you want to be in. This is the full program. There is not anything that you don't have access to if you sign up for this program, and you can get in for as little as $25 right now. So I'm leaving that there because I want ladies in here who are serious about it. And I know that even serious people might not have the budget, but if you're willing to work, we can get you there. Okay. All right. It's been awesome hanging out with you guys. And just drop your questions in the comments, and I will see you guys later.